So what is a rack focus? According to the definition, the filmmaking technique of changing the focus of the lens during a continuous shot to create more shallow depth between two objects, also known as the focus pull or pulling focus. Let's jump into Nuke for further explanation. Here I have two examples to understand the concept more thoroughly. Example 1. Here I have a constant and connected to that is a rotopane node. I have done some rough drawings here. There is a camera and it is filming two objects. I'm gonna mark this for you. Let's take the brush tool and I will change the color here. So this is camera and this is object 1 and this is object 2. So I hope you understood the scene. Now come back to here. I have used a remove node to remove the alpha. See this alpha? I'm going to remove this. Let's proceed. Here I have two rotor nodes in which each rotor node cover each object in the scene. To that I connected two blur node and switched them to get a control. Let's keep this in and out. So here you can see one object is blurred, or in other words defocused, and other object is focused. If you alter the switch, you can see the focus is shifting to the other object. So this is a simple explanation for rack focus, and if you are not understanding, let's move to the other example. Example 2. Here I have a checkerboard as a background. I took a pink constant and pre-melted it using a roto. Also we have a blue constant pre-melted. I have connected edge blur to both the results. At the end, connect all these into a card and assemble into a 3D scene. We have a scanline node to show the result. Let's suppose this is the shot camera. Consider this as real life shoot. Awesome. So coming back to switch node here, connected to control the defocus or rack focus, wrote a simple expression in size knob so that it can follow the switch node, and you can see the expression here. So this switch is the control here. Let's change the value here and see the result. You can see the focus of the character changes, or if we continuously animate this value in one shot, that is known as rack focus in this shot. I hope these two examples gave you a neat idea of what is rack focus. Let's move inside a shot and see what we can produce. So here is a footage which I downloaded from internet. Let's play the footage and see. It took little time to do the playback. So you can see the focus is shifting from one object to another in the same shot continuity. It's little hard to match this kind of defocus animation value accurately, but when doing a task on this shot, I came up with this idea which is pretty cool. So here is the footage, and also I have an element, a clock, and it needs to be replaced here where the clock is here. So I have to composite this clock to the same position. I already made this to save time in the tutorial. Connect this grade node to the plate. See, you can see the grade node is offsetting the color a bit. I have used a copy primul node to use an alpha from this roto to pre-multiply. Used an eclipse roto spline as it's easy to trace this clock. Also used a transform node to match the position. Let's take a merge node and connect both pipes. So I have replaced this new element in our footage, but as you can see only position is matched, but the rack focus is not matched, and we need to fix that. This edge is so defocused, you can see here. But in the last frame it's almost matched. Let's get into comp, and here first thing I noticed that there is some camera movement in that shot and we need to match move the element. So I'm gonna take a tracker and let's connect the pipe into the input, arranging a bit to this side. Let's drop a tracking point here and also here in this edge. Okay, I placed the in-between range, never mind. Select both the trackers and track. So here we have track and I'm going to place it under this transform. Let's connect this and organize a bit. In the track settings, under transform tab, make sure the transform properties as match move. Now let's check with the playback. Yep, it's moving along with the input. But as you see, our defocus is not matched. So our next task is to match that. There are lots of tools for doing this. Let's keep this little down. First, let's take the defocus node which is there in Nuke. You can see the properties here and it's easy to play with these settings. I'm gonna place some keyframes roughly, but you can see there are lots of areas where we still needed to keyframe, and it's kind of tough to match defocus by this assumption. I found a way for this and I'm deleting this defocus node. Let's take a backdrop node first. Oops. Okay, I will keep this here and make it a little big. In the properties, let's change the color. And I'm gonna type pre-processing here. Let's copy the tracker node and keep it here. As you can see, we have two tracks. And over here, change it to stabilize. And if you zoom here a bit, you can see our footage is somewhat stabilized, though it is not that accurate. Select this tracker node and let's bring a crop node. So we are going to crop and isolate certain area. Adjusting this little further, and this is okay. So here in channels, if we check red, green, blue, we can see there is some data which can help us to obtain those focus pull values. I think our channel looks better. So I have a shuffle here where I shuffled all channels to red. All set. Now we can crunch these black and white values. Also you can use saturation node for this. We are sticking with the shuffle here. To this shuffle node, let's connect a grade node to crunch these values and create an edge that travel through the defocus animation. I'm going to adjust the black and white point sliders to get a result like this, removing all the midtones. This looks fine for me, but you can see a lot of noise. Let's reduce these noisy jitters by adding a blur node just above the shuffle node. Yeah, you can see the difference here. So this is perfect for me. Value of 3.8. Yeah, you can see the difference here with the blur node. After removing all that noise, you can see the end result here. Now we can easily track the pixel movement happening here with the tracker. Come back to the grade node and let's create a tracker node. I'm dropping a tracker here. Let's make the search area a little small. I'm going to track now. So here I have the tracking data. If you check here, you can see that. And I kept the transform property as none because it doesn't matter. So now we have to use these transform values to mimic as a defocus animation similar to that in input. In the curve editor, you can see translate curves. Select both x and y or any coordinates you want the value to be used. You can see lots of jitters here. We need to fix these jitters. And in Nuke, we have some options for that. Select all these keyframes in this graph and right click, edit, filter, or else just come back here. Over here you can see the smooth option. I'm giving the value of 10 and see the curve is much smoother now. Come back to the node graph. Let's try to match stuff now. Take a defocus node or any kind of defocus tool like Z defocus or PG bokeh. I'm using defocus here. Let's connect it here. Now how can I use these translate values inside defocus node? We have an awesome gizmo handy for this kind of thing. And the credit goes to Ben McMahon. Here is the Nuke survival kit. Come down here to the curve menu. Over here you could find the curve remapper tool. There it is. You can see the properties over here like animation curves and output and some other stuff. Let's come back to the tracker node and copy this translate animation. And over here in this tool, go to animation curve and paste absolute. Now we have much sensible animated values inside the animation curve knob, but we can't see any result in our element. So now I'm in 100th frame. We have some options here. Click on this, find minimum and maximum curve values. You can see the result here, and also in the output knob there is a value generated, but there is not that much difference in the output. We can utilize these output values inside the defocus node as focus plane values. Before that, come over to the graph editor. You can see the curve input and output graph here, and both looks different. And if we match this graph alike, we are almost nearby the result. For that, come over to the new minimum and maximum values and adjust. You can see the graph is matching closer to the input one. These minimum and maximum values determine the most and least defocus values in our footage. And all the animation is automatically taken care of. This looks fine for me, and before playing with this too much, let's utilize the values inside defocus node which is there in the script. Here we have the curve mapper values. Here I already matched the new minimum and maximum values, but you can alter these values further accordingly. Let's select the defocus node. It's time to see that defocus animation. Once again, select the remapper tool and we will use this output. Here just control click and drag. And here we have an expression link. You can see it over here, or if you sure with the result, just copy that animation. Oh cool, we have some defocus in the element but not matching up to the input level. It's time to play around with the new minimum and maximum values. Let's play with this. Cool, it's almost matched. And let's play the footage one more time. You can see the rack focus is now in the element 2. So according to me, this is brilliant. Just play around with the most and least values and all the animation is there accordingly. Even you can see the small defocus animation too. Now we can fine tune the comp a bit by blending the edges. Let's give a value of 4 and see. This looks more. So a value of 2 works well. Done. Let's play the comp one time and see. Amazing. From a comp perspective, this is pretty basic. I just want to introduce you this tool from Ben. I'm really impressed with this automatic animation. Okay, over here you can see some of these leaves are cutting off. So let's finish this comp by revealing that. Come back. For that I am using Mocha Pro, which is a pretty handy tool. The inbuilt OFX version is so easy to access. In the properties, click on launch UI button. It takes little time to launch, but the footage will be automatically loaded. Click on don't collect as of now. I have made a lot of tutorials for Mocha Pro, so let's speed it up this part. Hold on a few seconds. Adjusting the shapes a bit. Now let's export this spline back to Nuke. Export track, Nuke roto shapes and copy to clipboard. Save the file and close Mocha Pro. Just paste. And here we have the roto spline. Let's take a copy pre-mult. Be into the input and let's organize a bit. Connect the pipe into the roto. Let's merge this result of the comp. Hey, that's done. We are missing motion blur and turn on that here. That looks cool. And here we have the final results. I know there are a lot of things which is lagging as a comp perspective, but moving ahead, I'm gonna add some grain over this. And here it is. So easy. Make sure to check this tool and comment down if you have any doubts. See you in next tutorial. Until that, take care, be safe.